Alright, good afternoon everyone, and this will be the first video of my channel. I've got multiple stuff planned. First, I plan to make a Lego video on some builds that I've had stashed over time. I plan to show you how to make a narrow gauge slate car. Start off with these specific pieces. As you can see, these pieces right here, it can vary. You can choose whichever color you want. I've got multiple different slate cars of multiple different colors, as you can see. So it really depends on you which color you would like to choose. Alright, so first we're going to make the bottom half, which consists of the wheels. Start off with two right here first. These. Two of these, I usually just use gray and black, or the order doesn't quite matter. You can put on the black one can go on top, or gray can go on the top. It really doesn't matter for me. I just happen to choose it this way. I'm going to have these parts right here. These parts I found to be very important because these are the ones I use to couple them up with many different other cars, though I'm mostly just going to use slate cars. Now this piece right here can vary. I've got another slate car that uses this only because I ran out of these pieces. And I think it's also important to keep at least one stud of space opened out. And I'll show you soon why. Have the wheels right here, narrow gauge. I'm not using standard gauge because at the time I do not have any standard gauge wheels. Specifically for Lego, I only use standard gauge. This would be what I call the lower half. You can see it moves around pretty nicely. And the top half of the slate car. First, I'll start with these studs right here. I'll use 4 of these right on the side. Right on each corner. Here you have it on each corner. Now the next part is these 1 by 6, I believe, on each side. I just use, for most of my other slate cars, I just use light gray, perhaps, if you'd call it light gray. All my other ones, you can see, just use the same color. And one of these, or at least 2 of them, I would say, perhaps not one of them. As you're gonna have to see, 2 by 4s, I believe. They are the spaces to put perhaps slate or some other varies. I believe you can use Technic pieces as well to act as cargo. Now I will add 4 more on top of the very corners. You can see. And now we'll add 4 more right on top of them and right below them of the 4 studs I just put on each corner again. Right, here you go. These studs don't really matter as you won't see any of it. To me, I guess looking on the side, they will all look the same. Now these, as I said before, I believe they're 1 by 4s. You can use a variety of colors, as I showed previously in the video. Blue and blue, red, or light green. I prefer to use these most, as well as the red one, and also light green ones, because I like to keep it in line with television series of Thomas the Tank Engine. I've had these built a long time ago, so I've just been keeping them stored. And here's your slate car. I try to keep them in line with the Blue Mountain Quarry cars. And here you have it. Now I'm soon about to get an engine, and you'll see why I have an extra stud space and not on this side. Perhaps I will use this one. And here you have Luke. I'll do perhaps a build review or of him later on, but just for the purpose of the video, a Slate car, here it is. You'll see why I have an extra space right here, to have space right here for the buffers. If not, the buffers wouldn't have any space to move, and the Slate car could not move. And see, it moves on pretty nicely. You position the camera. Alright. And you can see it moves pretty well. Perhaps with more of them. And you can see they move along pretty well. Also important to note, if you do not have these specific pieces right here, if you do not have this piece, I found it useful that you can also use this I have on another Slate car, since I only have 3 of these. I had 4, but one of the pieces broke off, so I was no longer able to use those. This also I find useful. It works nearly as well, though not completely. But I would say that if you do not have any of these, you should best use these, as these are the best replacement you have. Though I would say, if you can, best use these, and you'll see why. When you hitch them up, you don't actually see it, but if I were to push down on this car right here, the Slate car is slightly tilted up. Now if I were to push it back down, it slightly moves upward. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's because the size is a bit different, and it doesn't go precisely as it does with these. As you can see, if I were to push one down or the other down, none move right up. Well, perhaps this one did move a little up, but I think that's because of the rails and they're a little bended. So they're not moving up, unlike with this one. As I said, if you do not have any other alternatives, you can use these, but it's much preferred that you use these because they do not bend upward. And another thing with these, when you couple them up, they're a little more, not too much, but slightly more stiff to move. As obviously with these, you have much more mobility, unlike with these. And there's my video on how to make narrow gauge Slate cars. I hope you enjoyed it. And I shall make another video soon, perhaps about politics or perhaps about another narrow gauge build I have. Thank you all for viewing this video, and if you could, I strongly recommend that you like this video if you can, or you consider subscribing for more content like this. Thank you. And this is Brooklyn Kid Defiant signing off.